We back. Y'all already know what it is, man. We blessed with another special guest. Of course, y'all know what month it is, and we had to try to close it out. Special, we had to close it out with, and cannot forget it, man, because it's about unity. It's about everybody. It's about all of us, regardless of what you look like, what you do, your lifestyle you live, so on and so forth. So I ain't gonna do too much talking because I want the special guest to do the honors. We are blessed with Matt Sarin, K. Bassard in the building.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, as Mike said, Massar and Kendra Broussard, most military people know me as Bo.
All right.
Um, I've been in this game for about 15 years now, and I enjoy it. Um, of course, we're here for Pride Month, so it's been like a little difficult coming in 15 years ago. It was like don't ask, don't tell. Um, but a little bit about myself more personally, I have a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old daughter, a 16-year-old, 16-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Oh, damn.
Uh, right. Um, and a lovely wife. Um, and we just recently moved here to Arizona, and I love what I do. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, P, for the invite. I'm here to answer as much as questions or talk about my experience as much as possible. And let's have some fun.
Real quick, Pride Month.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and we all about the same age or around. When I was growing up, I don't remember there being a Pride Month. I don't even remember a month being celebrated except for Black History Month. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I remember.
Nah, it's just about the same with me.
Okay.
What about you, Bo?
No Pride Month.
Uh-huh. I don't remember a month being celebrated with a holiday for anything or a whole month except for Black History. That's the only, that's the only thing I remember.
Right. Fast forward, active duty member, you know what I mean? You know who you are, and you know what your lifestyle is or you want it to be. Did any point in time it affect you? I know you said, when you came out, you know what I mean? How did that affect you? Being in the military, being active duty at the time, like you said, 10 years ago was just a don't ask, don't tell repeal. Because I remember a couple stories as an airman, you know what I mean? So how did that affect you? What changes did you go through?
So my first base again was Langley, and I had a very great group of friends. I say friends, but they're like family, right? Um, and it was no problem for them. We all keep our secrets to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The struggle was just being at work and have to, if you talk about what you do over the weekend, I got to make it seem like it was a guy, right? And that was like the most difficult part for me. I could be myself, off duty around my friends, but at work that was the struggle for me. But it was a little easier than going back home and to my hometown with my actual family and pretending to be somebody that I'm not. That was like a little difficult.
What you got, P?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Really, it's kind of confusing to me because of course, I didn't really come up in this kind of world like that where a bunch of people were, dating their own sexes. Just not how I came up, not how I grew up. I understand what it is now, and like you said, I respect everybody for being who they are and how they are, and whoever they date is who they date. Did you ever feel any kind of pushback from anybody, maybe even now, from being that type or being that you date the same sexuality?
So from people of more of our generation, right?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But when it comes to older people, definitely. Civilian and military, you can tell it. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm a firm believer. I may not, support something somebody else do, but I'm still love you because you human, right?
100%.
Absolutely.
I can really care less what you do at home, outside. You can have been at home doing drugs. Doesn't matter to me. I love you as a person. So civilian wise, I still do. And the sad part is, it's like older family, right? Not more so of my younger family or like middle-aged family. It's just that mindset again, like P said, like you just don't grow up dating the same sex, right? They just don't. And I'm not looking to change anybody,
Right.
because people are in their ways when you're that old, right? So they just enjoy their life. I let them do it. But at some point, I'm still myself, right?
Right.
And it's been very difficult for me. Just being honest, like my parents always knew, right? Parents know things that you don't even have to say. But me physically coming out of my mouth and saying, that I love the same sex. I told my dad first, right? Because we grew up in a Christian home, not like going to church every Sunday, but Christian is Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's still very difficult for my mom to accept. She accepts it.
Mm.
I can tell it's kind of like, I love my child, but I
Right.
really don't. I don't like what she's doing, so I'm just gonna accept it just a little bit, which is very difficult for me, right? Being 36 and I can't fully be myself around my mom.
Right.
My dad, he don't he just like me, love everybody. I don't care what you do,
Mm-hmm.
right? You be happy, you get one life, right? So I lost my dad a year ago. It'll be a year ago in July, and that has been very difficult because I can talk to him about anything.
Right.
So I just tell people, just try to be yourself. Because that's a stressor, like trying
Right.
to satisfy the people.
Right.
That's a major stressor, a mental thing. It's hard when
Yeah.
you got your own life to live, but yet I got to satisfy someone else.
Right.
I don't feel like it's not fair for people for anybody. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
What offends you that other people do around you for your sexuality or whatever? Like what offends you about it? Or does anything offend you?
Um,
When people are fake or they're just trying to be different around you, you can kind of tell it.
Honestly, not too much really offends me. And just to be honest, like the only thing that upsets me if I go in public, right, and decide to use the bathroom is you get these older people like the men's bathroom this way. And obviously I don't look like a male. So,
Right.
I try not to be disrespectful, right?
Right.
Because
Mm-hmm.
especially older people, because I'm not disrespectful, but you're not going to disrespect me, right?
Right.
So I find a way to say it very nicely, like I know what bathroom I'm supposed to be in. I think that's the most that irritates me. Like, don't be so
Ignorance.
close-minded because my hair is short that I don't know what bathroom I'm supposed to be in.
Right.
I can read, right? And so, and my wife can't stand it. Like if somebody miss and say, she will correct you on the minute because there's no way that I look like a male, right?
Right.
But that's probably the most thing that offends me, that people just that close-minded to say, back in the days I used to have like really short hair, wavelength, and people just look like, the men's bathroom that way. And I'm just like, you think I don't know what bathroom
Right.
I belong in,
Right.
right? But other than that, like nothing really bothers me too much because at the end of the day, the people have to account for their own actions, right? And
Right.
I don't have to account for them, so I'm good.
Right.
They, Valenzuela just said, yep, the bathroom all the time, and they short hair be short, or they hair be short too. So I didn't know that was the thing that people say something about the bathroom. Yeah, that's crazy to me. But this is the reason why we're having this talk, is just so we realize the ignorance that some people have.
I just think it's just blatant ignorance. You're going to come across them people, man, and those are people that upset you the most because it's just them being ignorant, But I applaud you for not even stooping down to their level, because that's when they win. You know what I mean? Right. When you stoop to people's ignorance level, that's when they win.
But how do you educate without being upset? Because that upset me just hearing what you said. Like
Right.
that really upset me. Like I was ready to go off, and I ain't ain't got nothing to do with that story. But I'm ready to go off for you.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess that's the point. Like I just got to pick my battles. Do I feel like really arguing with this person in the bathroom, or I'm just gonna say, ma'am, I can read, and just leave it alone.
Right.
Because again, it's just the battles I feel like picking are, do I really feel like this today? So again, like you say, it does make you upset, but you kill them with kindness, right? And
Absolutely.
they'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that sucks. I'm sorry you got to go through that. I mean, I don't even know what to say, because that really just pissed me off just hearing that.
She don't need no pity. It's
not pity. It's real shit, man. Yeah. Like it really made me mad. Like I can't believe people would actually say that.
But it's just, but I tell you this though, I'll put this in. When I sat in the luncheon and one of the speakers, they made a point, right? And we know everything else that's going on in the world, like we talked about prior to, racial disparity, so on and so forth. So, and he said, he got up there and he said, he said, I got it bad. I got it bad twofold. Don't quote me. But he said, I'm a minority and I'm homosexual.
Right.
And I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of, I had to sit back and think about that one, right? And it was another senior leader in there. You could see him shake his head as well. But how do you, if you hear that, like, what does that mean? Or do you see it a different way or the same way, or?
Not at all. And you know, it's crazy that you said that, right? And maybe I should have said it when P asked me, do I feel like I have to work harder? I feel like I have to work harder because I'm a minority, right? Not because of my sexuality.
Okay.
Because minority, being a woman, and unfortunately, we still in those days as a woman in the military can't do certain things, right? Then because of my sexuality, but out of the hardest, I feel like I gotta, work harder, because I'm African American, and which sucks, right?
Right.
I gotta do a little bit more. I gotta smile a little bit harder, which I'm not like that one to, smile in people's face. It is what it is, right?
Right.